Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk about a TV show called Boss. It is a spin off from the Husband Hotel TV show, what I actually very much enjoyed for the most part. And I just wanted to talk about it because I really don't like it. I'm up to I'm up to season one, episode four at the moment, and I'm slugging through it, and I just cannot get into it. I just don't find it that great. There are some big pros that I do like about it, but at the same time, it's kind of rewriting a bit of lore that I don't particularly agree with. I originally started watching the pilot episode on YouTube, what I really liked, and it kind of annoyed me that that pilot episode was actually not canon. They redid it for the TV show, what I think was kind of sucky because in Husband Hotel, the pilot episode is actually still canon, and you could, even though you could skip it and you wouldn't miss out on any of the story, it was kind of interesting to me that they kind of like decannoned the pilot episode for Hello Boss. So there's a couple of pros and cons that I really like about the show Hello Boss, and the biggest one that I actually like is actually the idea that anyone can go to heaven regardless of what you believe. Uh, and I like that. Like, and people can be redeemed. I like that because I think that's actually a really cool part, and I think that actually reflects a lot on real life as well. It's like no matter how bad of a person you are, you can always come back, uh, and I like that. And I think like that kind of really helps and like fills in a lot of gaps, and you can kind of just use that as an excuse to say, oh, well, anyone can go to heaven. So I like that, regardless if you believe in that or not. So I think it's a really cool little plot point that they put in that. That was originally from the I think it was actually from Husband Hotel. That's what that law came from, and it carries over into Hello Boss as a like same principle. And I really like that. Another thing that I like about Hello Boss is that the cities in it actually are like cities. So in Husband Hotel, the city was kind of a bit all over the place, and most of it was in ruins a lot of the time. In Hell Boss, it's like more like a city, and I kind of like that because I do believe that if like if you obviously like if people are coming down like after they die, they go to hell, and they do remember their past lives of what they were. It makes complete sense why like some people who maybe were into like engineering or structural designs and stuff like they would bring that knowledge down and then start making their own cities. Like for me, that makes sense, and I think like hell and heaven being basically a reflection of Earth anyway. Like I think that kind of like makes sense to me, and I like how you get to see the more city part of hell in Boss. So that's a really big part that I like as well. Of course, I just said about the overlap. Yeah, that's the overlap is also another thing that I really do like about the TV show between heaven and hell and Earth is that like they are kind of all the same, and I do like that, you know, and it like kind of they will reflect each other. So yeah, the overlap is great. The lore building is good, and Hell Boss I think shows a lot more of the down to earth, well, I say down to hell, what it was like living there, and I really like seeing that as well. And I enjoy it. I do enjoy that world building. The only thing that kind of lost me in Hell Boss, what I didn't like, apart from me not really being interested in it, was I don't like the idea that they can go back from hell to the living world or whatever. Going from hell to heaven, for me, that was okay, because like both of these areas were kind of just like together. Like, yeah, that makes sense to me. The problem I had with them going back to the real world, like Earth or the living realm or whatever you want to call it, I don't think that should happen. I just straight up just don't think that should be a thing. I know in the show, and I really do appreciate this, they did say that it's actually not allowed, but of course there's like some loopholes, and some weird animal creature is like has like a book what he can use to get people up to the living. I just I don't know, like it wasn't really something that I kind of liked. And every time they did it, it always kind of was a bit weird. I do like the idea, and I think, but the way they did it was good though, because it was like even if you went up there, you could use a disguise and be human. But I don't know, like if honestly, like I don't know, it kind of like yeah, it wasn't really like a good idea. I don't think the way they handled it was good, but it wasn't an idea that I would go with, and I don't think it was really that good because I like the idea that it was like in hell only, so you could kind of tell yourself that oh yeah, maybe this could actually be happening right now, you know, but I would know because I'm up here. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. I wasn't really a big fan of it. The good thing though about Hella Boss is that the characters in the show are pretty cool. I'm not too sure about the goth wolf creature girl. I think she was kind of just thrown in there as a like a why not? I mean, like who doesn't want like a goth wolf? I don't know, girl to I don't know talk to you. I guess I think that's kind of the idea that they're going with. And like I said, I've only seen like the first 4 episodes, and she hasn't really been in it much. She's got like a really like cool, like name as well, like Luna, I believe her name is for like a goth girl. What is it? Extremely popular. That and Lilith. Both of those names are extremely popular with goth characters. What I think is fine personally, but you know, it was yeah, it's like of course, you know, it was like of course, you know, of course, the name is that. Oh, but yes, I will say Brendan Rogers, I think his name is. I've seen some of his videos on YouTube years ago. Yeah, he's terrific. You know, he is 10 out of 10. I think he was actually the news report lady in Aspen Hotel, and yeah, he was funny as well. Like he's always been a funny dude. And yeah, I don't really watch his stuff now, or really see him around. I don't know what he's up to, but he's yeah, he's good. You know, he's a good voice actor. I like him, and I'm kind of interested to see. And I think he actually wrote Hella Boss, what was kind of interesting as well. I will say the like the sex and stuff in Hella Boss is a bit much, and I like obviously it was in Hella in Has Been Hotel as well, but it wasn't nearly as in your face. But in Hella Boss, it's kind of like the first like 4 seasons. Like yeah, it's like this is constantly happening, and I'm not really. I don't know. Like I'm not really into it. You know, maybe it's just not my humor. I'm not too sure. But yeah, like but the thing is, I actually liked Has Been Hotel, and that's what got me interested in watching this show as well. It's just not. It's they're like two different things, you know, and they don't really have like a lot of overlap. And as of right now, they don't really add much more to the lore. Like you could probably just watch Husband Hotel and leave it at that, and it could be done. I will have to talk about Husband Hotel at some point because I was a little bit disappointed with how they handled some characters, especially some of the angel characters who I really thought were going to go on like a straight rampage through hell, and they just didn't. They just constantly got like they talked a massive game, and they just didn't, you know, go anywhere with it. So, but I'll have to talk about that at a different stage. But for now, Hella Boss is interesting. If you like Husband Hotel, I'm probably about 40% sure you'll like Hella Boss as well. But like I said, I don't really like it, and I'm gonna try and slug through it. Probably do another video on the topic again at a later date. Thinking about at the end of season two, but I heard season two is a lot better than season one. Problem is, I don't want to have to slug through season one to get to the good stuff. You know, like I don't want to do that. I am happy that season two is better than season one because a lot of shows and stuff actually have the first season being the best, and then all the other seasons being kind of like iffy. House of the Dragon is definitely one that I can say I enjoyed the first season more than the second. So you know, there's a bit there going. Yeah. Look, overall, I'm really liking the Hasbin Hotel universe and the lore and the stuff behind it. I just Hella Boss is just one of those shows that I really just can't find myself going, yeah, this was a good experience to watch because it's just not for me at the moment. I'm really hoping I've heard it gets better, so I'm hoping it gets better. I will recommend people watch it if you're interested in Aspen Hotel. Watch it as well. You know, voice acting is terrific. You know, animation is great. If you like the Hasbin Hotel animation, you're gonna like this one. The songs, I will say immediately, are not that great. compared to Hazbin Hotel. And I think it is because in Hazbin Hotel, the person who Matty made Hazbin Hotel, like I think she's a girl. I'm not too sure. Um, I don't know. They just seem to be a bit more invested into it, I guess, or maybe like since Hazbin Hotel was more of an indie project, and now Hella Boss is more like mainstream. It's like they just kind of like dropped their quality a little bit. The songs in Hella Boss just aren't great. Like they just aren't good so far. The characters are kind of iffy as well. Like some of the background characters. I mean, not the main characters. The main characters are great. The background characters are the characters you see like once or twice. Like I mean, straight away. Even now, I haven't watched. It's been like over a week now since I watched Hazbin Hotel, and I still remember the angel who literally all he said was like, "I just watched the door." Like I still remember him. You know, that's how kind of like outstand like he stand out for me. He was like the standout character he was, and he was a background character in Husband Hotel, like I don't really know anyone. I don't even know what the owl's name is. I know he has like a daughter, and she looks interesting, but I don't know what her name is either. Um, and like, yeah, like I don't even know like half the main characters. So it's interesting that I'm gonna recommend it to people who do like Husband Hotel. If you like it, you'll probably like this one. You know, but I can't really get into it at the moment. I will revisit it, I think, and we'll go from there. But look, I hope the next TV shows they bring out, if they bring out more, or even if they bring out another Husband Hotel, they kind of really hammer in a bit more of the lore. Since they've made Peace with Heaven now, I'm not too sure on what's going on there. I kind of hope they kind of expand the story a bit, and I hope the new future seasons of Husband Hotel, if sorry, of Hell Boss, if they do come out, I hope they kind of continue on the mantle. So anyway, I think that's enough for me today. Thank you for listening to me rant a little bit. It was just something that I needed to just kind of talk about because it was a bit bothering me, and I think there are going to be some people who are like me, like who watch Husband Hotel, go, "Oh, yeah, this is good," then check out this and go, "Oh, okay, maybe not." So, it is a problem. It is something that is happening, and it's happened to me. And I want you guys to know that you're like, if you do feel the same way, like, yeah, like you're not alone. It is a required taste um, to have to watch this show. So yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.